Hi there, Perla Kyoto here. Transforming past events. Do you think that when you do something, you make a choice, or when somebody makes a certain choice and you get affected by it, that you have to carry on and endure whatever comes with it? That you're supposed to be led by the waves of that thing, or that you are supposed to give up? Everybody's thought processes is different. The way that people deal with things are different. So if you are a person that you think that things are over because you've made certain choices, or that you have to carry along with something that somebody did because it affected your life, then this is for you. Not for those that when something happens, they make changes, they study it, they see how it works, and they get themselves out of it. You have already surpassed the thought processes of feeling lack, of feeling inadequate. Now, for those of us that get dragged by the decisions of others, or that we get stuck because of the choices we've made, we have a lot of things to learn. We do. And many a times it's because of our culture. We have a culture where we think, you have to be ashamed. You have to feel guilty for what you've done. Something happens, you have to go with the ride. No, my love, we don't. We can change whatever it is that we want to change from our past choices, and from the choices of others as well. It is not the end of the world. Time is not linear. If we can think of time as the positioning and the movements of the elements of existence, the cause and effect, the way that things are being formed, which can always, if you know what you're doing, can be changed. If you know what you're doing, you're curious enough, you make experiments, you don't give up, you innovate, you create things because you're creative, you can always change anything that you've made in the past. You could change the positionings of it so then it becomes different. Don't believe anybody or anything that tells you to be guilty and feel ashamed, because these things puts you in a halt. It stops you. It limits you. It limits your creativity. It limits your innovation. It limits your self-belief. It actually removes your self-belief. And these are the things that we're supposed to treasure: innovation, creativity, self-belief, having a high self-esteem, being a person that is brave, a person that is not afraid, a person that is unapologetic, a person that knows how to work with feelings, thoughts, their actions, their body. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask. Whatever choices we've made, we can always change the aftermath of that. We can transform the thought processes that are aligned with it. since we are talking to people that feel stuck because they've made certain decisions, we have to change the thought processes that we develop or have developed to stay stuck, to stay guilty, to stay ashamed. Any questions you have, go ahead and ask. When it comes to past, if you are feeling that you are to endure whatever pain you're having, is no longer in the past. It's right now. A machine that is telling you go with the flow, a mechanism, an energy, a product or service that has its function and it does its job very well. That limits you. Unless you stay in a rut. You know, we come to this world to learn, to this part of existence, which is very vast. Existence is very vast. We come here to learn. To undo the things that we get ourselves raveled into. How many of you feel stuck? How many of you feel like you have to, just go with the flow? You think that your life is over because certain choices that you've made. And that you can't move forward because of that. And it's affecting your health. It's affecting different areas of your life. How many of you? How many of us, my loves? Sometimes with these things, we don't want to accept it. We rather hide. We rather get away from our reality. And then if we don't take care of it in this lifetime, we have to take care of it sooner or later. We have to take care of it in other lifetimes, in other forms, because we're continuously learning. Now we can see things in a different way, and that's okay. There's no one way of seeing things, understanding things, believing, doing things. There's never just one way. There's different ways. And that's the beauty of life. But the most important thing here, okay, yes, is different ways, but to understand our way, to understand the in and outs of the way that we've created, to understand our reality, to move within our reality. Because if we're just adapting things and we don't know how that works, then we're going to be struggling. It's just going to show. It's going to show one way or another. I see that in my own life, and I see that in the life of other people. You know, any ideas that come to mind for you guys, go ahead and mention it. You know, sometimes we people, we miss on a lot. When we want to rely on experts or what the regular reality says that something is supposed to be done, instead of taking initiatives for our own selves and figure stuff out for our own selves. And then we put ourselves behind because we are not the experts. We are not the common knowledge. And sometimes when somebody else comes, because they're not known or anything like that, we don't really participate. We don't go ahead and learn. We miss out on a lot because of that as well. You know, life is, she puts her gems in everything that exists. And you are important. You're supposed to know how important you are. I am important. It's myself to give myself my value. It's my job. Hi, Eddie. It's my job to give myself my value. Because if we don't do that, who else is going to do it? How many ideas are out there How many gifts that everybody has that is out there that we're not giving to each other, and much less to ourselves. Much less to ourselves. How many? What are your gifts that you're not, your skills, your talents, your ideas that you're not exploring? How many? What are they? Okay, so let's go ahead into the practice of transforming the past. Whatever it may be, if you've been molested, if you've been assaulted, physically assaulted, mentally assaulted, private areas assaulted, you've been betrayed by somebody, you were left alone by those that you loved, or whatever it is that you feel, or something that you did, right? You made some choices that you feel guilty about. Don't let anybody make you feel guilty for something that you want to transform within yourself, and you don't want to feel guilty. Guilt gives you stress. It's very stressful. It disperses your mindset. So you go back, let's see, if you were insulted by somebody, right? Because everybody's case is different. Let's just pick one. You were being insulted. Somebody was telling you that you're not worth anything, that you're going to be cleaning somebody's rear end or whatever it is, right? That you weren't going to amount to anything, and you let that sink in. And now your experiences, your current experiences, are feeling the effects of that, right? So you go back in there, you look at it, and you feel all these things within your body. You're feeling the inadequacies. You're feeling the pain. Perhaps you're feeling the anger. And then look at the branches of that. What aspects of your life is that affecting? Your educational level. Again, this is for those that got stuck because of that. Not to those that use that for their advantage. It's not for you. If you used it for your advantage, to get the hell out of there and empower yourself, this is not for you. This is for those of us that believed it, and now we're living that in our practically day-to-day lives. Okay? So you look at that, look at the branches as how it's affecting you. Is it affecting you socially? What kind of people do you bring into your life? Do you feel like your friends don't amount to anything? The friends that you pick. Do you feel that if somebody is so wise and everything, you don't feel worthy to be their friend? That you're going to be a waste of time to them? We're looking at the branches of that, because nothing comes by itself. There's branches. There's the trunk, the roots, the branches, the fruits of that thing, right? It's a whole reality. Makes itself very elaborate. So your children, how do you feel if you have any? How do you feel with your children? What is your relationships with your relationship with your children and their relationship with you? What is the relationship with their education? Because obviously, if you thought that you amounted to nothing, and you did not make your life better, chances are that your children are going in the same route as well, because you weren't adequate enough or wise enough to walk your children in that way, because you didn't study. So how are you going to be walking your children to be a certain way if you yourself did not do it? They get homeworks, you don't understand it, right? Or perhaps your relationship with education is like lacking and you don't like it. And then you want to put your frustrations into your children. You want them to do better, but they're like, mom or dad is not doing better. So there we go. Why should I? So then this becomes generational thing. And of course, if you were called like that by your parents, chances are they're the same way. Because they were called the same way, right? So we're looking at all the branches here. Okay, now we're going to see how is it that you want to look. How do you want to look at yourself? How you want to perceive things. How do you want to perceive? What is the plan? So you go ahead and you write down the plan. Well, how do you want to perceive things? What is it that you want to change from the past? So now you go back in there. You see how you feel. You can go ahead and answer back. Answer back. You can say anything that you want, whatever comes to mind to you. This is your experience, it's nobody else's. This is your relationship with yourself, because it's all is self. And the people that told you those things were your teachers so that you can strengthen yourself. It's not for you to be held back or anything, but for you to strengthen yourself, for you to master yourself. So this is the new mindset that you're having. It was not to break you. But to make you stronger, to make you resilient. And if you feel like crying, you can go ahead and cry. This is the relationship with yourself, with your psyche, with your feelings. It's yours, nobody else's. For the tools of existence, you are the one that's supposed to master it. The tools of existence, feelings, thoughts, words, whatever. You are the one that's supposed to master those. So that you can live life freely. So that you're not held back by anything or anyone. So after you've said or cried, after you cried or said whatever you wanted to say, you can say thank you. Thank you so much for your words. Your words are not to make me, to break me, but they are to strengthen me. You're taking yourself into that particular moment, or one that, bears more weight, and you're communicating with it. You say, I am important. You say how that affected you. What you've told me, or what you say to me, has affected me in so many ways than one. I've believed what you said. And I saw where that took me. I saw the pain, I saw the relationships, I saw everything that happened. But this stops right here. This stops right here. Now I choose words from your mouth that are self-empowering and powerful to my current mindset. So now the person tells you, listen, that was for you to learn. You're being creative here. You're applying your creativity. When you're changing the past, you apply your creativity. And you know for certain that that thing is happening because now you're putting another tool in there. You're not putting the other tool, you're putting another tool. You are putting another function in there. So when that person tells you, listen, you are a powerful person. You can move mountains. Now you saw what happened when I told you these words and you believed it. It was for you to learn how to work with that, how to maneuver with that. But now that you see things differently, yes, this is for you to master yourself. You are masterful. You are powerful. You've learned that, the lessons of my past words, so that you can master yourself, so that you can help others, so that you're no longer stuck. You can do whatever it is that you want to do in life because you are a powerful being. As that person is telling you that, in your mind's eye, you are connected with your body and bringing pleasure into your body. You may be crying now. Or parts of you may be like, huh. If you have doubt, doubt is a machine, a powerful one. If you have doubt, look at doubt straight in the face. Feel it. You can go ahead, thank you, doubt, for your service, but I don't need your service right now. And you bring forth confidence. You bring forth self-assurance. You bring forth strength within your being. Because you don't want the work of doubt, and doubt is not a law. You don't have to feel doubt. If you feel guilt at that moment, look at guilt straightly in the face and tell, thank you, guilt, but I cannot diminish myself and then get older and then be like what ifs and not follow my dreams because of you. Thank you for your services. But today I stop having doubt. We stop working with these things that we think we have, that we think we have to have in our lives. We don't have to have them. We really don't. Whatever it is, because the past does not exist in the past. It's right now. So you develop the feeling and the thought processes that you want within your being. The physical sensations of ease, of achievement, of love, of being loved, accepted. That's what you're bringing. So you're changing the past as you're doing that. You're changing what took place. You're transforming it. There is no wrong or right way to deal with these things. As long as you put self-assurance, self-confidence, that you put into it, self-knowledge, you put yourself into it, that you have your goals into it, what you want to achieve, and how you want to feel and think. As long as you put those things in there, you're changing your past, my love. Because guess what? Now your actions are going to change. Your actions is what follows. You know, there could be a Lego puzzle, right? Or it doesn't have to be a Lego puzzle. It can be like, let's see. I am not a good artist. Oh, I'm not an artist. Let's just call that. But, you know, I'm just going to draw a stick figure. Ta-da! So, and cut it. I mean, rip it. try this and you will see how powerful that is. Oh, you could be so creative with it. With anything. Something just happened right now. I like it. I like playing with these things. Because it helps me so much. It doesn't matter what happens, but how you feel about it. How you feel about it and the creativity that you apply into it is all that matters, really. You could be a little, however it is that you want, you know, sneaky with it, playful with it. You know, somebody does something to you that you don't like, that makes you feel very uncomfortable. Somebody cuts in front of the line, let's say, right? Like it just happened, somebody cut in front of the line. You know, you don't, yes, you could tell somebody something and that's okay. But if you're like a quiet person and you want to learn to be a person that is boisterous, because I'm very quiet. You know, I've been a people pleaser and did not want to offend anybody or make anybody uncomfortable or, you know, I was like that. So very much so, you know, chronically. But anyways, so somebody cuts in front of the line for you and you're like, oh, you know, but it's how you're feeling at that moment that matters. So you go ahead and transform it. You're like, you make yourself be the one that cut in the line. So whatever satisfaction that the person has, you get to have the satisfaction. And then this could be a little sneaky and mischievous. And whatever discomfort you have, you could give it to them so they can deal with it. Yes, I said that. And so these are some of the things that you can do when you go ahead and transform the past. So let's say we have this little stick figure, right? These are the feet and the legs. Yes. So this is what happened. So the stick figure is, this is what happened in the past. But you begin to rip it. You know, it's different patterns, different parts, right? To anything, because nothing creates itself by itself. So you begin to rip as you are transforming what happened. So if this was like a puzzle piece, the puzzle piece is no longer the same. It's no longer the same. So you go ahead and rip what's taking place. So the picture becomes different. You're taking away the strength of the old and you're bringing forth the new. What does the new look like? If this were to be like a Lego puzzle and you're breaking away the pieces, this is what's happening. The past is not linear. You can always change it if you know what the hell you're doing. So the more you're taking away the pieces, the less strong it becomes. It's no longer the same thing. In your life, it's not. So now, because you've done that, your life is different now. You are different. So what is the new thing that you want to build? You come up with a plan now of how your life is going to go so that it can be a 360-degree experience for you. Not just a mental one, not just a feeling one, not just a physical sensation one, but a reality. So if you are a person that believes what people are telling you, and you don't tell them nothing when you're feeling uncomfortable, now you're going to say something to them. That's your new thing now. You're not going to accept anything that you don't want to accept. You are not. If you don't like it, You talk about it. And it's okay to be boisterous. It's okay to say what you wanted to say. As you're doing that, you're facing your fears, my love. Yes, you may feel nauseous. Yes, you may feel uncomfortable. Yes, you don't want to make anybody uncomfortable or whatever. But to make you comfortable and for you to know how to work with yourself and for you to master yourself, you say something. You voice yourself. As you're doing that, you're building anew. You're building a new picture. You're building a new reality for yourself. That you're not accepting things that you don't want. Because before you did. But now, you don't. Does that make sense to you guys? Does it make sense? Do you guys have any questions for me? There's other things that you can do as well. But if you guys want my coaching on such subject, go ahead and let me know so that you can transform your past. Again, time is not linear. It's simply the movements of the elements and the elements that are being used, the mechanisms that are being used. You put a different mechanism in there, a different thoughts, feeling, emotion, physical sensation, the thing changes. A different idea, the thing changes. Different actions, the thing changes. It's no longer the same. You know, I used to be like very shy, not, I didn't believe in myself. You know, for me to come out in the live, like I will feel nauseous, uncomfortable and everything. I used to let myself be guided by those things. But now I know that these things are like a product or a service. I'm the one that decides what it is that I'm going to work with. If I go ahead and believe something that is telling me, no, don't do it, your hair is not done. You see the self-talk? You don't know how to say certain things. You are forgetful. People are not going to listen. But you know, there has to be like a different voice behind it, right? So your hair is not done. Okay, let me go ahead and do my hair. But then if I don't want to do my hair, it's like, okay, look at the feeling of not wanting to do. The will is like lacking. So look at that, face that, and go ahead and do the hair. I don't know how to communicate. Well, I'll learn while I'm moving ahead. Right? People are not going to listen. Well, I'll be developing myself in the process. This is not about the people. This is about me and the woman that I am becoming. And things will figure themselves out as I am moving along. So don't let any tool go ahead and tell you don't do anything and you whatever the hell. These are choices. Why are they there? Because of the woman that I used to be. I didn't want to do certain things. A rebel, right? I wanted to push people away. So, of course, those things will pop up. Because your old self, as you're working on building your new self, your old self is going to come out with all her bullshit. With all her baggage. Because she doesn't want you to change. She does not want you to change. She wants you to keep on, you know, because she's very self-driven. For whatever the hell, she likes to sleep all the time and everything. And, you know, she's using your body and whatever, you know, that tool is using your body and is building itself and growing and whatever the hell is doing itself. So it doesn't want to stop. So, of course, it's going to throw all these cards. It's going to throw all these cards. It's going to play its game for you not to change. But the thing is that you cannot let that stop you from doing what you want to do. You reverse engineering. You reverse engineering the old. And yes, it's not easy. Yes, it's painful. So that's why it's important to create a self that is with a strong character and a strong sense of following its goal, a new goal, where you're going to be uncomfortable, but you're going through the discomfort to let go, like an eagle that has to take off its beak, the snake that has to shed its skin, the butterfly that's got to change. This stuff is not easy. If it was easy, everybody would be doing this stuff. It's not easy. But when we learn to create pleasure through the discomfort, which is also I can teach you, then things begin to change. You're breaking away the old pattern and bringing forth the new one. Life has different parts. There's the spiritual part. There's the physical part. There's the mechanism, the machinery, how the machinery. You see this thing I have right here? Yeah. You know, I like this. It's engineering. Because I used to be very like emotional driven and not use like my logic, you know. But with the thought process of engineering, that there is a machine and I don't have to use emotion. I can use logic. I can use common sense to work with things and learn how to work with that, learn the complexity of it. All that helps me so much in my life. So there's the machinery of life, and there's the scientific parts of life, and of course mathematics, whatever you want to call it. But so if your mindset works a certain way, and it keeps you stuck in there, then change it. Use a different thing. There's always a way out. I gave you this one way out, but there's different ones. And how is it that you want to go ahead and transform your past, my love, so that you can be the person that you want to be and have the experiences that you want? This world is yours. You've been told, you have been told that it's not, but it is. Want my emotional mastery coaching? Go ahead and let me know, so that you can begin to master feelings. You can do so many things with feelings. You can do so many things with feelings. So yeah, if you want to learn, let me know. And after this live, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask. Self-mastery to us all. Enjoy.